Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sarah V here. So nice to see you here. Wanted to share something, that has really changed my life. So many things. And I have been reading a fantastic book. So I wanted to give credit where credit is due. It's called The Code to an Extraordinary Mind. And he talks about, Vishan talks about Brules, Brules. And this is something that I have really been studying, because my whole mission and thought leadership is all about ancestral patterns. We're picking up these patterns from our ancestors and making, he calls them rules, but I call them the agreements that we make to ourselves, the same concept. And the rules or the agreements that we make about ourselves, shape who we are and what we believe in. And I am absolutely convinced that the number one reason, should I say, that we are unhappy in our life is because of the agreements, the rules we make, and the majority of them do not align with who we are. And we talked about this in my manifesting circle that we meet every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And this was a great subject because rules can show up in so many areas of our life, not just about self, but they can show up about our religion, that we have to complete college in order to be successful. Maybe there is an agreement or a rule that is about loyalty to our culture, like we can't marry outside of our culture, and a religious agreement or rule. Or, I know that this is very prevalent with women, is that we have to do more in order for us to find our value. Or maybe for men, if we don't work hard, then we're lazy. How many of you, like me, couldn't even take a nap? Because if we took a nap, if we cared for ourselves, then we were somehow lazy. And I really believe that if there is anything that is shaping our happiness, that is negative, that feels out of alignment, we have stepped into an agreement or a rule that we've agreed to, that we have just believed in, that is shaping who we are. And the majority of rules, we were talking about this morning, are false, are negative, are filled with judgment if we decide that we don't want to have them anymore. So I wanted to offer to you, because I know that we are all into this quest of manifesting happiness, whatever it is, that is our manifesting goal. We make up so many. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Sarah V here. Oh my goodness. So I wanted to come in here and talk to you about something that has really changed the level of my day-to-day happiness. And I am reading, and I'm always reading and learning about something new. And I want to give credit where credit is due. I'm reading this book called The Code to an Extraordinary Life. And the author, Vishan, talks about, and I love this, it's called Brules. And what are rules? Of course, it has the B before the rules. And the B stands for bullshit. So bullshit rules that we make about our life that shapes our identity, which therefore shapes our happiness. And we all have rules, whether we like it or not. We all have rules, or in my mentorship, I call them, agreements that we make about ourselves, about our life. And sometimes those agreements kind of expire, or these rules are not in alignment with who we are. And rules don't have to be just about, self-improvement. They can shape us around, religion. They can shape us about whether or not we have to finish college. And if we don't finish college, we are going to be unsuccessful and we'll never get a job. Oh my gosh, that was, really one that I was affected by for the majority of my life. There is perhaps loyalty to a culture, that you can't marry outside of a culture, out of your culture, family of origin. There's massive religious rules or agreements that we make to ourselves. And one that I think is, something that really affects our happiness is that we have to work hard, or if we don't work hard, we're lazy and we won't be successful. Oh my gosh. And then we keep doing more and more and we get stressed out. I know that was one that was a big one, big rule for me. Another rule that I used to follow all the time is that my money or my financial source only comes from one area. And I've totally shattered that one. So think about it. I'm going to give you a couple, first steps in order to start to shift your rules or your agreements that you have made to yourself that is perhaps affecting your happiness, because it's all related. When we have a rule and it's out of alignment, we create an emotion, and the emotion is what is creating that low vibration. So ways to let them go. And of course, this isn't just about listening or watching this video. We get to practice over and over and over again. I've been doing this work for, gosh, it feels like all my life, but really focusing in on it for the past 10 years. So first, and I'm learning so many things about myself, the more work that I do, the more things that I read, the more, aligned or like-minded people that I surround myself with. So ways to let them go. And again, we get to practice over and over again. First, we need to know where these rules or agreements were installed, or, as I've talked about before, where they were seated. And when you can remember the farthest place where we remember, maybe it's just a sense, but where we remember where they were seated. Because first we need to understand that they don't align with the true self, the core essence of who we are. Second, start to question these rules or agreements if they feel out of alignment with your dreams and your desires. I know that there was, it's really getting in tune with what is showing up in our bodies. We get to feel that out of alignmentness, if you will, and we can think to ourselves, is this really in alignment with your dreams, your desires, what your goals are they? So think about it. And then the third thing is that you think about, is this rule or agreement serving my happiness? And if it isn't, you most likely are caught up in an old expired agreement that does not align with who you are now. And again, you could be stuck in that rule. So these are some of the things that you can start practicing. And again, we do this over and over again. until we feel that energetic alignment, we feel in flow, we feel the creativity, we feel completely open to the universe. So I would love to know, and you can comment in this video, what are some beliefs in your life that you want to question? Is there something that is not aligning, but you don't quite know how to uncover it? Because it's not that easy to release Brules, but it's possible to begin. And I 100% guarantee you, when we start to notice what is out of alignment, we can start changing how we feel, being open to this incredible life and universe that is all available to all of us. So start thinking about what are some beliefs in your life that you want to question. And you can either message me, however you want to get in touch with me, and maybe just start to, maybe for the next 7 days, you start really focusing in on how you feel. And when there's something that feels kind of off, when you feel that you're a little bit off, start thinking about, where was this belief? Or first of all, we have to remember, what are we thinking? And then we think about, where was this first? Where do we first remember that it was seated or installed? And then we get to start questioning how it's affecting our alignment with our dreams and desires. And then, is this serving our happiness? So I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching my video, and we will see you next time.